What's up everyone, my name is Jared Conde, you're watching TitoFit, and in this channel we talk about health, wellness, and fitness with a bit of a focus on some of the gear and maybe some gym visits, and we review a lot of that stuff for you and we give you some fitness and wellness tips as well. Now, in today's video, we are going to be talking about the TYR CXT-1 trainers. The brand is pronounced TYR after the Norse god of war. Although not a bad kind of war, like the context is more of like a focus on justice and fairness and things like that. If you're from somewhere in Scandinavia and you know more about this, please let me know. But the brand was founded in California in the 1980s, in the mid-1980s, primarily as a swimming brand. So if you are a swimmer, you have probably heard of the brand TYR. Now, here in the Philippines, we don't get much of these, but I did order this through the global website and they will ship it straight to you. No, in most countries, they will ship it straight to you for a fee. It's interesting, you know, if you watch the CrossFit Games semifinals this year, you would have noticed that a lot of the athletes, especially in the Europe and American regions, were wearing TYR. And we're not talking about just like athletes that you don't know. We're talking about the big names in CrossFit. We're talking about people like Pat Vellner, Annie Thor's daughter, who was previously with Reebok for the longest time, Guy Malheiros, Danny Spiegel, Noah Olsen, who was the poster boy for the Nike Metcons at one point in time, and you even have people like Dr. Aaron Horschig, his Instagram page, Squat University. He's a physical therapist. These shoes, and especially the weightlifting shoes, were developed with a few of his inputs. We're seeing a lot of athletes in the CrossFit space from Australia, from Europe, and from the US who are wearing these CXT-1s now. So never has a shoe been that disruptive in recent years. The last time that happened was probably with Noble, when Noble did get a lot of their athletes like Tia Toomey, Brooke Wells, Katrin David's daughter, a lot of these athletes, there was a surge of all of them joining Noble. But now, we have a lot of newer athletes joining TYR. Actually, I have never been this excited about a training shoe since 2015's release of the Nike Metcon ones. So the Nike Metcon ones, when they were released in 2015, I may have been a little bit too excited because I remember I bought 5 colorways of it in that year. I don't know, I think I'm even more excited about these. So this is not gonna be my last pair of TYR Sport CXT-1 trainers, that's for sure. Knowing that now, I wasn't able to wait for Austin, so I texted him yesterday because the package arrived yesterday. I texted him that if we could shoot right then and there, because I wanted to use the shoes so bad that I couldn't wait for today to unbox them and use them. So long story short, I used them yesterday, and so this video is gonna have a little bit of a different tone as compared to our other unboxings and reviews because I've already used them once. So I'm gonna use them again later. We'll see what this shoe is made of. I'll rotate it for you. There you go. Logo on the side, in the heel, you can see a little bit those wings. I guess it has to do with the logo of TYR. You have a heel, same heel tab. That's supposed to slide for the Nike Metcons, right there. It's supposed to slide when you're doing handstand push-ups. And then you have the insole and the upper. A friend told me that they kind of look like golf shoes, maybe in this colorway, but I like this colorway because of the ice blue outsole. It's really nice. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's a mesh, so mesh upper there. It's very plush. It's very plush to the feel. So I have some questions about how durable this upper will be. Now, given that I've used it yesterday already, I did some cleans, I did some front squats, and I did some burpees as well. You know, standard CrossFit stuff. It's very, very stable. My other shoes in my rotation are currently Nike Free Metcon 4s and Nike Metcon 8s. So those are the shoes that are in my rotation, and I can tell that these have the best heel stability in comparison to those three. Now, those other shoes will have their advantages in certain other aspects. Your Reebok Nanos and your Nike Metcons, and they're from major brands, they're from big brands. Adidas had their try at it. Didn't go too well with not a lot of CrossFit athletes choose the Adidas shoes for training. TYR says these have been built from the ground up or powered from the ground up, and I couldn't agree more. You have Noble, which was supposedly built also from the ground up, but not really, since those guys were technically the marketing team for Reebok initially, and they left and put up their own brand. Supposedly, they're designed to take on the most rigorous competitions and training regimens. Athletes will have the ultimate base for any movement, with responsive and durable support that reacts to the energy you put in. They say that it is a patent-pending stability platform. I agree. The heel to toe drop for these, meaning how high your feet are from here to the heel to the toe, to how low they are on the toe, is a total of 9 millimeters. Now, if you compare that to the Nike Metcons, which is about 4 to 5 millimeters depending on the model, if it's a turbo, if it's the free, or if it's the Metcon, basically they average between 4 to 5 millimeters from the heel to the toe drop. And then this, that's almost double the amount of heel to toe drop, which results in more stability overall for your lifts, especially your Olympic weightlifting, your overhead squats. So people who might be struggling with a little bit of some ankle mobility issues, this shoe will definitely benefit you. Now, I was able to feel that yesterday in one of my heaviest sets of front squats. My torso kind of dropped a little bit, and normally that would pull your heels to come up a bit off the floor, generally speaking, especially at the bottom of the lift. But yesterday, it didn't. I was so stable at the bottom of the lift, I just had to cue myself to bring up my elbows and my chest on that front squat, and I was way to go. Another thing is, it says there's this wraparound side gripper extending around the heel for added stability. So here it is, that's this side grip for added stability. You can see it there. And then there's an anatomical toe box. Yes, I can definitely attest to that. With the Nike Metcons, I feel like my pinky toe is being crushed a little bit, you know, like it's being choked. But with this one, my feet feel comfortable, you know, they're spread out as they should be. They're able to grip the floor properly as they should. Now, there is a responsive energy foam midsole, so that's this part here. Yeah, it is soft. It's good. It's supposed to help you when you do things like box jumps, your double unders, things like that, like burpees, a lot of the stuff we do in CrossFit and other functional fitness regimens. This breathable upper, which is made of some kind of a mesh. It's plush, but I don't know. It's not the best quality, if you ask me, for the mesh over here up top. Like, it could be better. I've seen bigger brands have a better execution of this, but you know, here's a new player in this sport. So it features an extended toe guard apparently, so that's this one for added durability and traction. And then the heel tab, like I said earlier, for the handstand push-ups. And then, yeah, it is quite flexible. See, as you can see, that forefoot is flexible, but over here, this is very stable. So, but the forefoot, no, it's okay. I wouldn't run too long distances with this because the soles are a solid single piece construction. Unlike, like say something like a Nike Free Metcon where there's a lot of segments to the sole and it is made to flex, but this one's a little bit, I'd say it's a lot more biased for lifting. The insoles are removable. There you go. Yeah, they're not very thick. The insoles are kind of. The other one has the TYR logo, so it just has the TYR logo there. And the other one says always in front. Okay, now that we're done with their press or their marketing, I'll give you my honest personal opinion on this. They don't feel like the Nike Metcons, not at all. They remind me a lot of the Reebok Nanos. But everything that annoyed me about the Reebok Nanos, these fixed. So my experience with the Reebok Nanos was that they were too soft. I feel like the Nike Metcons were a lot more stable for lifting, a lot more you know, especially for things like cleans and all that. I always felt like the nanos were a bit too soft for my personal preference. You may or may not have the same experience. Please let me know in the comments below. Did you prefer nanos? Did you prefer Metcons back in the day? You know, or maybe you're one of those people who prefer nobles or strike movements. I'm not really sure. Okay, maybe not Vibram 5 fingers, but okay, whatever. They feel a lot like Reebok nanos, but the toe box is a lot wider, and that heel to toe drop, that was the thing. The Reebok nanos are a lot flatter. They're way flatter with the Reebok nanos. So if you had some mobility issues, especially when performing things like overhead squats or squat snatches, you would definitely feel like the lack with the Reebok nanos. But with these, I think these are going to be really good for that. I'm so excited. I'm going to be joining a local competition, so I plan to use these. Okay, now here's my my questions about this shoe. Now, given that the mesh upper is a little bit too plush, I have questions about how long or how durable they're going to be. Another thing is the inside of the shoes, they don't feature any extra reinforcements around here, all the way to here, which is normally used for to help make them last more for high volume of rope climbs. Now, granted, if we're being straight with each other, if you do CrossFit or functional fitness, how many rope climbs have you done in the last 6 months? Probably not that many. So there's that. Now, I'd say how many cleans and snatches have you done in the last couple of months? Probably a lot. So definitely you want to major on the majors and minor on the minors. So that's a minor gripe with that. And then third, it's a really nice shoe. It's well constructed. I don't see any extra glue, a lot of glue coming out. That's the good part. But with that energy midsole that they were saying that, you know, reacts, I already have a little scuff over here. Very small, but you know, whatever. I mean, it's meant to get beat up. It's not something that you should be using like some of those sole protectors on. So we'll see. I'm definitely gonna make a video about this in the next 3 months or so, or for a longer term review after the competition that I join. And I hope you liked our initial thoughts on this TYR CXT-1 Trainer. And let me know, do you plan to get these? Are you gonna pass on these? Do you have something else in mind? Maybe the rad ones, the current CrossFit shoes that are being used, the strike movements, they have a new shoe out as well, or maybe the new and improved Nobles. Or are you excited about the Metcon 9s or the Reebok Nano X3s? Let us know in the comments down below. So they're available for purchase. This colorway and most of the other colorways are available for $129.99 US dollars. In Philippine pesos, that's gonna be 7,981.66 with the current conversion. Okay, like I said earlier, TYR does ship globally to most countries. Now, depending on where you are, your shipping fees may vary. So here in the Philippines, my shipping fees got out to about 30 something US, 30 something dollars. So something like that. So that might be a factor in you determining how, because Nike Metcons are readily available here. They actually don't cost much to ship. And they, of course, as far as availability is concerned and brand recognition, Nike's up there. And TYR, maybe that's one of the downsides. The brand recognition isn't there. So if you're the type of person that values brand recognition, this is gonna be a hipster CrossFit shoe, kind of like if you know kind of thing. You know, if you're a CrossFit fan, you're gonna know what this is. If you're not, if you're like a muggle, okay, if you're a muggle, probably not. You're probably not gonna recognize these. So the only people who are gonna recognize this brand are swimmers, triathletes, and CrossFitters. And only like CrossFitters that actually watch the CrossFit Games. And they saw that a lot of the athletes they look up to wear these shoes. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna train in them right now. So let's see ya.